Okay, let's take it one step further. Okay, um, we know we have constants and variables, and variables are anything. And this is called. Let me get this lined up so I can work really well here. Okay, this is called a coefficient of a variable. Okay, if there is a number next to a variable, it's called a coefficient. Okay, we have, so this is the variable x. Okay, this is all type. The only thing you can combine this with is another x. And the ultimate goal is to solve for 1x, right? We've been through this over and over. But we have some things going on here. We have a -1, we have a +6, and we have an 11 that all have to get together, and they have to be on the opposite side of where your variable is. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is combine like terms on this side of my equation. Because I have a constant and a constant, I am going to combine those. So I'm going to write my 3x. Next, I have -1 and +6 gives me +5 is equal to 11. Now it looks just like any equation that you were solving last week that was pretty simple. Most of you did pretty simple on this equation. Okay, most of you did fairly well on this equation. Sometimes you were messing up on the division or the multiplication a little bit, but remember, you got to use those skills because that's how we keep them so that we can. You always use a calculator. You're never going to know how much 5 times 5 is. So we need to refocus that and memorize those again, all right? So now I need to get this 5, because it's a constant, over with this 11. We've done this numerous times. You subtract 5 from both sides. You zero pair these two right here. That's the opposite operation to zero pair them. You bring down your 3x. And now you have 11 take away 5, or a +11 and a -5. You can look at it either way. 11 take away 5 is 6. Now this, anytime you have a coefficient next to a variable, it means you are multiplying. The opposite, if we want to get rid of that multiplication and break it apart, we are going to divide both sides by whatever the number is next to the variable, because that gives us 1x, and 6 divided by 3 gives us 2. Please box your answers. Okay? All right, let's look at another one. I'll just keep going and doing a few here. Let's look at number 2. So I have 1x, I have a constant, and a constant. So I've got to get these constants together, okay? And right now I'm kind of boxing them just so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm going to go ahead and bring my x down because that I don't have anything to combine it with. If I take a +2 and a -2 together, or 2 minus 2 gives me 0. Do I need to write 0? No. So they cancel each other out, bring my 3 down. Guess what? I'm done. That was easy, wasn't it? Okay? Most of these are not going to be real difficult. I'm trying to bring this slowly up, all right? Let's look at, I don't know, let's look at number 8. How about number 8? We have 2 variables this time and a constant on the other side. So all I need to do is combine my -2 with my -5, and I end up with -7x is equal to 14. I need to leave my x positive, so in order to get a +1, I'm going to divide by a negative if I have a negative sign. Okay, -7 divided by -7 gives me +1. And 14 divided by -7 gives me -2, and I'm done. Okay? Oh, I know. let's look at number 9. Okay, so this time I have a constant here. I have a variable, a constant, and a variable. And remember, I need to have all the variables on one side and combined and all the constants on the other side combined. Well, for right now, the first thing you kind of want to do is clean up the side that you can clean up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine those two. So I'm going to bring down negative 15 is equal to, because I haven't done anything to it, and I have a negative 7a and a negative 4a. That's how I look at those. I know you guys are still in this keep, plus, keep, change, whatever, okay? You can't do that when you have all this going on. So you got to learn that that subtract sign is the same as a negative sign, all right? So negative 7 and negative 4a gives me negative 11a. Then I just bring down my subtract 4 or negative 4 because it means the same thing. Now I need to get this 4 over on this side with the 15. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. That zeroes out this side, and I bring down my negative 11a is equal to negative 15 plus 4. Well, that's opposite signs, so I'm going to subtract. I take the larger, subtract the smaller. I end up with 11, and I'm going to keep the sign of the larger number. So negative 11. Well, I have one more step, don't I? This a needs to be left as 1a. If I have a negative 11 next to it, I'm just going to divide by whatever's next to it. And I have what I do on one side of an equation, I always must do on the other side. So then I end up with 1a, or a equals, and a negative 11 divided by a negative 11 gives you a positive 1. Okay, you want to try another one like that? Let's try another one like that. Let's try number 10. Okay? Remember, though, this one thing I will remind you. When you have a variable by itself, such as number 3, what's in front of it? That's correct, the invisible 1. So go ahead and write that, all right, so that you don't forget that it's 1. So when you look at a variable by itself, go ahead and write that 1 out there. So if you're combining it with anything, you won't forget to add 1. Such as number 5, where you have 4n and you have a plus 1n. Okay? Let's do number 10 together. Let me look at this back page. And this is about as happy as you're going to get today, okay? You got a back page to do, so just take your time. All right, the math itself is not that bad, okay? So we've got 6r, and I need to combine that with a negative 2r, don't I? That's the two things. I'm not doing anything with this 1 yet, so I'm just going to write it down. 6 minus 2 gives me 4r minus 7. I'm going to bring that down. I haven't done anything with it. So these are combined. Now I need to get this negative 7 over to this side of my equation because I want constants on one side, variables on the other. You're going to hear me say that forever. The opposite of minus 7, plus 7. So what I do on one side of the equal sign, I must do on the other side of the equal sign. That cancels that out and makes those 0. Bring down your 4r is equal to 8. Okay, now I just need to divide by the coefficient next to r, which is a 4. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4, and I end up with r is equal to 2. Okay, that should be enough, all right? You should be able to, and if you need to watch this video again, please do so. Okay? These videos are there if and so you need to watch them. And if you don't get it the first time, don't give up. Ask to have the video played again so that you can watch it again. Sometimes I go a little fast, maybe when I'm doing this. All right. So if you need to watch it again, please ask to do so. All right. I'm hope you have a great day, and I will hopefully get to see you in class at some point soon. Bye.